Very much quick change
Tricky.
of directions
I
and
saw
all.
the videos.
So if we are getting so this is one kind of myth that
Huh.
we would like to break.
Huh.
That race was is for supercars, it's for higher power cars and all. So we haven't seen Achintya bringing his that Turbo Swift or the Grey Swift since a lot of events. That car was like taking the fight to the S6 and all like anything. The Cayman, that
Wow.
turbo cat he had. So it's a Swift,
Huh.
modified Swift, but it's a Swift. That was up there. He even beat them a couple of
Oh.
times, Achintya. And Pratik Dalal in his Mini was competing.
Huh.
So that's a stock Mini.
Huh.
So the point is that overall level of competition
Huh.
has a variety of cars.
Huh.
You have n number of ways to reach that lap time.
Huh.
You can buy a probably.
Tune in to part 3, where Lakshay Dabas debunks a big motorsport myth, thinking your stock car isn't cut out for the race. Lakshay is here to tell you that's just not true. From hatchbacks to sedans, it's all about how you handle the wheel. He'll share stories of drivers who've made their diverse rides dance on the track, proving it's skill, not just the car, that gets the trophy. So don't count your car out yet. It might just surprise you on the track. Let's roll into the action with Lakshay and see what makes a true driver shine.
So, I mean, after understanding so many aspects of your event, the events that you're holding in such depth that you just mentioned, that brings me to one question that I have in mind. इन सारी चीज़ों की planning initially आप कैसे करते हो? How do you structure your entire event? Very briefly, if you can make all of us understand.
So it all starts with the conceptualization, what kind of format we want to run. For example, if you want to do something new, it needs a longer lead time. So if there's a new concept, for example, we take pink slips as an example. So the timing and the track planning of the event, basically sample layouts and all. If something is brand new, I start making sample layouts like months before that. And once I am like confident that this can be done, then only we start with the actual event planning. Then, for example, we try and announce events 1.5 months before. Then the issue is with the dates with the BIC. If dates are available or not, then we have to find the right dates. Sometimes many times there is a lot of lag from those guys. We don't get the confirmation before 25 days, 20 days. That makes us difficult for us to sometimes then plan things and get people on board with the sponsors and all. And so once we narrowed down what we want to do, this, for example, we want to do race wars. So then we start with the federation process. We make the base SR, we apply for the permit, and we book the BIC for those dates. Then we open the entries. So once we are opening the entries, we also
all of this is before you design the track.
Yeah. So and that is personally done by me, making the classes and everything, taking last few events data into account. Which classes have shown higher participation or lower participation. Then all the logistical processes start. You have to order the material, equipment, trophies. The timing system needs to be booked, and the stickers need to be designed. So every event we have got new stickers, new layout, template, and everything. So all that is done. So there's a checklist for that. We follow that. Over the years, we made a nice checklist. But then again, it's all about reaching out to people and basically sending the message that this is happening. And one of the most important thing is that once we announce a date, we don't back off from those dates. So that used to happen a lot previously, and still happens with a lot of events. So our credibility is like very important. So because people make plans to come to our event, we don't want to like change the dates or cancel or postpone last moment. Earlier, there are a lot of events happening where we did not have enough participation to
Yeah.
even break even.
Yeah.
But we still went ahead and did it because, again, that was more important. That people have, so those people who have put faith on us, so they don't deserve to get a cancelled event. They should get the
Correct.
event that they've paid for and they've tried to put their faith in. So we've done that earlier. Then we always do that.
Okay.
We ensure that
Okay.
the event goes ahead.
Okay.
Then there's a safety planning
Huh.
for the event, which there's a document needed to be filled by the doctor and sent to FMSCI.
Oh, okay.
So then there's a lot of pre-payments to FMSCI that needs to be done for your
Okay.
single event licenses.
Okay.
We need to buy in bulk. We need to pay for the permit fee.
Okay.
So that is there. So once we are closer to the event, once the sponsors and all and everything is lined up, then we get the printing and the branding stuff ordered on and everything.
At what stage do you design the track? Where lay out the
So
track?
we reach the BIC on Friday normally,
Okay.
and we do the setup for 2 days.
Okay.
So we have a general idea what we want to do different,
Okay.
and sometimes we have to take into account the on-ground situations.
Okay.
So I've designed I don't know how many tracks till now, but it's a big number.
Okay.
So I always have to take into account someone messing up badly in the worst way possible when I'm designing a corner.
Okay.
That it should be safe. For the worst case scenario, every corner, like this time we had a new member who helped us. Like I told him, please go ahead and try and make a track. He made a good track, but then I told him that these points are, as a driver it's enjoyable, yes, but as a running of the event, safety wise and operational wise, some corners need to be like shifted a little.
Yeah.
Like runoffs need to be taken care
Yeah.
of. The speeds coming into a corner should have like enough runoff ahead.
Yeah.
That they should be basically ample space that even if they have a brake fade or anything, they can like maneuver their car and make it to a complete stop or just avoid the obstacle and everything. So Friday we start making the track. We put around more than 500 cones there.
Oh.
Each cone has to be checked.
Huh.
So recently Vishal has been making very nice tracks for us, but I also am there with him to basically help him out with the same. And we test the track a lot of times. We ensure that we try to drive like a maniac as well on the track and see if
correct.
there's any risk involved. So all those things we do from Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So those two things. On ground, we normally get free on Friday and Saturday. Like sometimes I remember, like it's 11 in the night, we're still there working. Like the team is also there working. Next day we have to be there like by at 6:30 to set up again, like start the event and everything. So all those 1.5 months of energy like culminates into that single day. But all that back end processes which no one gets to see is like a long process. Like it's it's a lot of coordination that I need to take care of. A lot of the execution. Thankfully, we've got a very good team. So execution wise, we have like set personnel in different departments. Registration is sorted, track operations is sorted, and we keep on infusing new people into the team. So we got a bigger pool of people who can join us for events.
Okay.
So, and a lot of things have to be planned in such a way that how's the weather, how many shaded canopies we need,
Sure.
if we need water coolers and all, and how many food vendors we have, what is the layout of the event we need to run, right? So we need to take into account a lot of external factors, what are dynamic factors, how it will turn up. We have had events where we made the track on Saturday, it got completely washed out overnight due to like those high winds and everything. So then next day we had to like quickly remake it and all. We have to make track in such a way that it quickly gets approved by the steward once he comes in the morning and sees it, so that the event track walk can start on time. So that is also there.
ऐसा कभी हुआ है लास्ट मिनट स्टूअर्ड ने रिजेक्ट कर दिया?
नहीं, normally there have been in the time attack, never. Minor changes people can ask,
Okay.
which are really very minor, like shift the cone, make
And I
this
think
corner.
with time you've also understood कि वो क्या acceptable है.
in the INAC round, we had 1 hour delay because
Okay.
again
Track change.
track was in reverse, but then again they wanted to do ऐसे नहीं ऐसे होगा. Then there were a lot of cooks there to making the there were a lot of chefs there basically making the dish, and they were like, no one wants to take responsibility, but everyone has an opinion. So then sometimes
That's bad.
So yeah, and those are all FMSCI people, so we got 1 hour delayed and all. And that's all politics. There's nothing.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, ठीक है, एक ही बार है, कर लो तुम भी.
So I have many questions, actually not many, but probably 2 or 3 important questions जिसका perspective I would want to have from you. But before that, from the accessibility standpoint, I have a few questions to ask you. Tell me one thing. I mean, in race wars, do you have to have a certain type of car, or you can just, even if you have a stock car, you can just come and drive, participate?
It is perfectly suitable for stock cars.
Okay.
We encourage people to drive stock cars as well. And the highest amount of cars run in the stock group itself.
Oh.
So, because the concept of race wars is that you bring your daily going office car, race in it, drive back home. There's no damage on it, because what will happen? There's some wear on the tire, right? And hardly some wear on the brakes. And you got a big smile on your face, right? So I think that's a fair trade-off for experiencing such a sport in a controlled and safe environment.
Do you also think that, I mean, I'm sure you've already thought about it, but you are actually, this is something that I want to tell you, maybe you already have thought about it, that you know what, you're actually giving a platform to people and young guns who want to drive fast, and encouraging them to, you know, come to the event, drive in a closed circuit, in a controlled environment, and not lose control on main roads, on street roads.
Exactly. That is one of the priority that we have when we started organizing.
Okay.
That was one of our main agenda.
Okay.
So we stand for road safety, right? Motorsport in general stands for road safety. That you want to show your talent, you think you are the best driver, please come to the track. Let the stopwatch decide. You can then see how much slower or faster you are than the others. That is the ultimate proving ground, right? You call your friends you want to race with, come race in the environment. What happens when you race with us? You're wearing a helmet, you're compulsory wearing a seat belt, you are basically driving where all the medical facilities are there. You're not driving on just a straight line. You're having corners where you need to show your mastery of the vehicle control.
Correct.
How much control you have over your own vehicle. And that makes you a safer driver on road as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how, because if you do enough events, what happens is all these instinctive things come naturally to you.
Correct.
If there is a sudden obstacle in the road, someone jumps out, you will not think, you will react. Even if you're in a decent speed, if the car will go sideways, it will be not a new sensation for you. You will not panic that much, or you will not panic at all, right? You will control it, and then afterwards you will basically sweat out or whatever. Then you'll realize what has happened and all. But you will basically react better in those scenarios. And you see a lot of corners in race wars that we make are sudden change of directions, slaloms, quick right left. So those kind of things are mimicking a real life scenarios, emergency situations. So that is, if you like correlate with the the real world things and the track, a lot of drivers, if you think in that way, you can then imagine like how it will help you in the real world as well. And then in worst to worst case, if you hit a cone, there's maybe a scratch on your bumper or something, that is that.
And I think अगर मान लो topper हुआ या कुछ हुआ, at least there are not other cars around. You know, at least on main roads, there are other people paying the taxes also. So you can't, be a schmuck on the
Yeah.
main roads. Pardon my words, but
Yeah.
you can't be that way on main roads. But यहाँ पे क्या है, आप आओ, give it a shot, try
Yeah.
it out. If something goes wrong, max to max, even if something severe happens, it will only be you, not
Yeah.
anybody else
Yeah.
around you.
And so, thankfully, there's no topple yet at Race Wars.
Okay.
And normally, the modern cars are very difficult to topple, and all those sedans and hatchbacks, they are we recommend those kind of cars to race. But modern SUVs are also pretty agile in handling and all. They don't give up.
Is there a myth that you would like to break for people who are wanting to participate in BND? कोई ऐसा myth हो जो आपके पास बहुत frequently आता है and you know that this needs to be broken?
So, see, the myth is, I don't think it's a myth or anything. It's just that there is a hesitation that I've seen it in my time as well. Right? People get cold feet at the last moment because they don't know what will happen and all. My car will break and basically it's a very, once you take a start in a motorsport event, right? Once the light turns green, that experience you cannot have anywhere else. That adrenaline rush is something which is unmatched. Like, I remember my first start. I was sweating bullets. I was like full tensed up. And once the light went green, all my inputs were like very jerky and all, and everything was happening in such a quick manner that I was not sure what I'm doing and all. It was all panic. But then again, I made a lot of mistakes in that run. But then I came out. It was probably I hit a cone or something, whatever. But then what happened? There was no damage on the car. I was safe. Everyone was safe, right? And I saw my lap time. I was like, okay, with this, I am standing in this position. Then you slowly calm down once you have done enough events.
Correct.
Now when the light turns green for me, I am at the most peace. I am in like a meditation kind of state. I'm like, now it's me, my car, and this track. I will do every corner like with a very calm mind. I think my heartbeat gets slower only when I take start in an event. Earlier it was like everything is like haphazard and everything.
Correct.
So there's no myth, just come and experience and enjoy it, because it's a competition. That competitiveness, that competitive feeling is something, and in a sport, in a motorsport environment, where normally people say, I can do this, I can do that. So suddenly once they see the light turn green, and there's no one stopping them, कि नहीं तेज मत चलाओ, please, it's all yours, the track is yours. Then sometimes people panic a lot.
तब सारी ईगो बाहर निकल जाती है.
Exactly, I've seen it happen with a lot of people since my days and all. It's pretty natural. But then good drivers always like take it in their stride, and then they learn from where I'm taking the corner and on. Just steering घुमाने से ही और accelerator दबाने से ही नहीं होगा. You need to basically learn the dynamics of your car. How the weight transfer works.
Correct.
When you brake and turn, how it turns. When you accelerate and turn, it understeers the front wheel drive car. So those things is something that will make you a better driver in general.
So tell me, if I am to ask you that out of 100%, split between the, let's say, the performance figures and the technical aspects of a car versus skill and guts, how do you split that percentage in such an event or any motorsport event?
In the stock classes, it's very much driver focused, because in the stock classes, and especially in novice classes, a driver with a 10% more skill than the other driver will be like seconds faster. Right? In the professional categories, the drivers have like certain experience already. So I'll give you one example of this last event itself. There was a go-kart with a 390 KTM engine. There was a Porsche Cayenne. No,
Cayman.
Cayman is Shrivats.
Shrivats.
Right? There was Achintya driving his I-20 stock with, I guess, springs and slicks. There was Karan Malik driving the Jazz. They were within half a second of each other till the last few runs. Then I don't know, Shrivats got like, he slept, took one Red Bull too many, and then he suddenly like put 2-3 seconds on over them. But that came in, so people say it's like a supercar and all. That's a small size. That's a very small sized car. It has got a lot of power. It has got very good rubber on it. And the driver who's driving that, I've sat with him. So he's driving that car to the limit. The same car was driven by one of his friend in last to last event. He was not in the overall podium. So you can see it's a lot about the drivers. I'm not saying,
like you said, understanding the vehicles, how it dances.
Yeah, exactly. And this time the track was like very much quick.
Tricky.
Change of direction
I
and
saw
all.
the videos.
So if we are getting, and so this is one kind of myth that we would like to break. That Race Wars is for supercars, it's for higher power cars and all. So we haven't seen Achintya bringing his that Turbo Swift or the Grey Swift since a lot of events. That car was like taking the fight to the S6 and all, like anything. The Cayman, that turbo cat he had. So it's a Swift, modified Swift, but it's a Swift. That was up there. He even beat them a couple of times, Achintya. And Pratik Dalal in his Mini was competing. So that's a stock Mini. So the point is, that overall level of competition has a variety of cars. You have n number of ways to reach that lap time. You can buy probably a Rotax go-kart. That will be like up there, right? Someone is driving a Cayman. Someone is driving a modified I-20, I-20 N-line, right? So someone like Gurjot is driving a 1 liter Polo. Someone like can get 1.8 those Polo GTI. Someone is driving a VRS. So to get a small hatch, you have to modify it, right? You can get that same kind of power in a supercar like a Cayman, right? But that's like much more expensive. You can go the other way around. You can have less power, but you have zero weight in a go-kart, right? So you have n number of ways to reach that lap time.
I think
the overall fight is not easy in any event. It should never be easy.
I'm sure.
Right? So saying that we can't win an overall, to win an overall has never been easy. It's never been easy to win an overall. Even in my days when I beat that Evo, I beat it outright overall. It was never easy. I had to like push beyond. I had to like almost push beyond my car's capabilities. And you take any of the events throughout the years, overall fight has always been won by very good cars being driven by very good drivers, right? So you take example the Evo 10. That was like a very, very powerful car. It was driven by an experienced driver. But that day, I was in my zone. I could do it. Probably I could not do it again.
And you could, I think, probably do it because you had an Evo with an experienced driver. So that just set that.
Yeah, I knew I had to go all out. Right. In Race Wars as well, in any event, if you want to win, you need to have a good car and you need to drive it to the limit. There is no shortcut to it, right? You have to drive it well. You cannot buy your way to basically victory.
So I think, as you said, that the best way is to just come, participate, get a feel of it.
That's why we have stock overalls as well.
Yeah, correct.
We started with the stock light overall, which was for less than 2500 cc vehicles.
Oh, okay.
So that was for the hatches and the sedans in general.
Okay.
So we had that also as well. A lot of people took part in that.
Okay.
And everything. So, but again, it's we decide our categories on the data we have from participation.
Okay.
So we dropped that because the fight for overall is a very serious fight and it's a head-on fight, one by one.
Yeah.
That lap is what matters. All your timing and all will get you to the finals.
Yeah.
But then in the finals, if you screw up, If you hit a cone, you've been like 4 seconds faster than the other guy in all your qualifying laps. But if you hit a cone, then you're still not winning it, right? And that has happened with a lot of people. Achintya has hit a lot of cones over the years in his finals. I've hit a lot of cones. Srivats has also taken pressure, goofed up his final corners competing against Vidit, I remember. That is the pressure.
Okay.
The overall fight is all about driving a good car to the limit under pressure.
Okay.
That is how you win an overall in any event. Be it, so Srivats has been doing it very successfully at Race Wars because the vehicle he has is very capable. The way he's driving it is
He's a
to
great
the
driver.
limit.
Yeah.
Right. So he has set a benchmark.
Yeah.
It is not that it is unbeatable.
Yeah.
It will need someone to make another huge effort. Someone like Karan, someone like Achintya, someone like Anush Gupta in his kart, and someone who has been like waiting dormantly over the years and not competing. Someone like Phil maybe to come up with his GTI or something.
Maybe someone like you.
I can't in my own event. But so that is the thing, and you take it. I'll tell you what you can always see the average. You can calculate the average speeds of all the events. Wherever event used to happen at the main track as well by a couple of organizers. So my event, I always try to add character to it. Right, those events had only corner, chicane, corner, right? So that is like just chicane straight, like the main track corner, which is flat out if you don't have enough speed, right? So my that has a very high average speed. Now that event was also won by supercars, right? There they had a higher over a minute. They were like if you take it per kilometer wise, they had like a wider gap in general.
Yeah.
In our events, if Srivats basically is like 2%, 5% off, he is in the mix.
Yeah.
Right. And that 2-5% is only what is needed to get him, right?
Correct.
To get him off the title winning streak.
Yeah.
Is that. And I'm sure Karan with his Jazz can do it probably. Achintya, if he puts some mods in his i20, he can do it. Like Gurjot, with more experience as a driver, he can probably get in the mix.
Yeah.
So it's, and you see the example of driver and car. You see Gurjot and Achintya driving the same car.
I think from what I can understand it's a lot about seat time.
It is about seat time and it is about experience. So if you don't have experience of seat time, if you haven't driven like around certain amount of competitive kilometers, you don't get the hang of it, or you don't perform. You basically don't know where to find time. Everyone should also try and watch their videos of their runs and compare it against their rivals. That's how I used to like do with my days. I used to stand and watch my rivals compete, like, and I used to see. And with the modified cars, you can hear the exhaust note, so you can know where they have lifted off, where I am lifting off. I know, and when I see them lifting or not lifting off, I could tell. Okay, these corners I am taking better. These corners they are taking better. So I will keep on doing my good corners, and I will try and emulate what they are doing, but in my own way. So like my tuner used to say कि ये देख के सीख जाता है सारा. So देख के सीखा यार हमने सारा. There's no coaching that we took and all, and anyone can watch and learn. It's not Gadi, normal.
Watch, then learn, make your notes, go and implement it. I think that's...
You should have the basic idea of how the vehicle dynamics work, what weight transfer is, how much your vehicle can take. And just one advice I would like to give any future competitors as well, and then current competitors, plan your runs, right? For example, if you have 3 runs, okay, first run you go like till you have that confidence of going like flat out, you know your car and everything, go 80-90%. Ensure that you don't miss an element, don't hit anything. Then you got a base. Now the next time you will go on the track, you will have a reference. You will not be looking at the cones, you will be looking at the corners. Right? And once you have a reference, then you can build on that. You will improve each run. So there will come a time when after like 3, 4, 5, 6 run, I used to improve till my 9th run, till the earlier days. But then I learned to go like 95% in my first run, like recently, 3-4 years ago, because of experience. That is seat time for you.
Yeah.
What you need 10 runs to do like now, maybe you'll do it in 3 runs and 10 years later. So that is all about seat time, and seat time cannot be like bought or replaced.
Seat time is seat time.
So that is needed.
So just one last question I would want to, I think people would want to know it, is that there are so many enthusiasts who might be wanting to participate in BND, but they do not know how. So how does anybody get to know about BND, or let's say Race Wars? How does anybody get to know about it, and how does one register into it?
So all the information that we do about our event is shared on our Instagram first,
Okay.
and there's a WhatsApp groups are there which are
Okay.
admin only.
Okay.
It's a digital notice board.
Okay.
So we put out all the informations there directly, so it can be we can reach out to our like people participants.
Is there like a digital form somebody can fill and then become a part of that group?
So in the in our Instagram link, you can basically find the scan code in any of our posts.
Okay.
Or that is for the Linktree link, and you can just DM us. We'll give you the link to join the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Since it's an admin only group, it's a public WhatsApp group. There's no chit chatting on that. It's no spamming.
Okay.
It's all about us sending you the information, and
Okay.
you can always reply to us directly in DM.
Okay.
If you have any queries, it is consisting of all the spectators as well as the drivers.
Okay.
So it's for everyone who wants to be connected with us. They can just join that group.
Okay.
It is the easiest way. You can always look out at our Instagram pages. Follow us there.
Okay.
So once the event is finalized, the date is announced. So we do a post on all our social media platforms and WhatsApp group. There's a Google form that you need to fill.
Okay.
And we are working with our third-party timing vendor, Chronopulse. So probably registration will be done in near future on the app. So I request actually, please everyone read the SR who wants to compete. And the final schedule normally gets shared in the group 2-3 days before the event.
Okay.
But all your FAQs, 90% of the answers are there in the SR. What is the flow of the event? What modifications you can do in your car? What is the categories on offer? Like there is an EV class as well we run. So it's again motorsport for everyone. So the cars are evolving, the sport is evolving.
Correct.
We have to keep moving forward, right? Those days of Zen's teams are now gone. The cars are now fully controlled by the ECU.
Yeah.
It's all electronics. So we run an EV class. We get 2-3 entries every time now.
Interesting.
And we are working on getting BIC to support us with putting a charging station there as well. Right, but if you bring your own charger, we'll give you the connection. Don't worry. Right, so EVs are most welcome. So just read the rules and regulations and prepare your cars accordingly. There's not much confusion in the regulations, but anything is sporting side, we are there to help you out. I will personally reply to your WhatsApp messages. Please ask. I'm like, what class? So a lot of people have a confusion what class my car can run. So, and whoever asks me, I'd ask them a couple of simple questions. What is the car? What is the engine capacity? What is the modifications you've done? And the fuel type, right? So if it's a stock car, so it's a turbo. So you have to apply the turbo multiplier. Again, that is not what we have put. It's the FMSCI regulation. So you have to put the turbo multiplier. A lot of people mistakenly put their categories wrongly because of the multiplier. Now it's written in the race card itself, on the back side of the race card. So just read it. It's very simple, and ask anyone from the team to ring me up. And for the sporting queries, please ask the COC and the DCOC. And if we are not available, please ask the CRO at the event to ring us up, and we'll help you out. We are always there to clear your confusions and your doubts. We don't want anyone to put categories in the wrong class and everything. There are now rules also in place which basically allow the steward to penalize someone putting their categories in the wrong class, their cars in the wrong class, with like an up to an year ban right? So the federation is taking this very seriously. So please read, please ask questions. We are there to help you out with all those queries. And so the upcoming events that we are planning is
I was just about to ask you
a
that.
lot of new formats are coming up. We are
Okay.
going heavily for the drift events.
Oh wow.
That is in the pipeline. We will, this time we had around 15-20 cars
Okay.
in the drift track day.
Okay.
This was the first FMSCI approved track day for drifting.
Oh wow.
So we took a permit for that. It followed all the safety regulations.
Okay.
We take our event seriously, and I know drifting attracts a lot of crowd, but this time thankfully there was no like people inside the track and everything, so that was better. So
The spectators were managed properly.
yeah, it was congested, but it was managed. Next time it will be even much better. We'll give a bigger track area for the drifting. We'll have a bigger spectator area for drifting. The next further events, we will push drifting a lot more. We'll give it more attention even further now. Time attack, expect new exciting layouts
Yeah.
upcoming. We'll probably revive older formats as well and add in new twists to them. And the go-karting element is something that we're really working on. So a lot of people who don't have, like I said, you can be a part of motorsport in different ways. You don't have a car that you want to compete in, or you don't have a suitable car for the event that you want to. We will give you a karting class,
Oh.
right? Same for everyone.
Okay.
And there's a separate track for it. Compete,
wow.
right? So, and
a
every time
go-kart.
you get a new circuit, yeah.
Okay.
So we have carts at our every event. So,
okay.
expect a new format for the karting event as well. Probably a karting sprint, something like that.
That's interesting.
So,
That's interesting.
like a proper long lap where you have to, where your hands also get tired about
can
competing
imagine.
and everything. So yeah, so we want to do a lot of things, and we're trying our best, and we'll keep on trying to improve things even further. And with the amount of resources we have, we are also trying to like add new things to in with each and every event, new experiences. The esports is also getting pretty good push. That is in the pipeline. So we are planning some esport league, which will run parallelly with the Formula One screening
Okay.
in central Delhi cafe and malls. So that is also in the pipeline. So you'll get an announcement for that pretty soon. And
That's interesting.
So a lot of genres are being pushed together. Again, we're not a like a heavily backed team. We're just a group of young people who have a passion for sport, and it excites us
Yeah.
to try new things.
It
As
clearly
a
does.
driver, it really gives me the kicks.
Yeah.
That if I am doing new tracks, new concepts, and
Yeah.
everything, and we are adding new people every time to our events. So yeah. So again, I think what our young team has till now been able to do, I'm pretty proud of that. And but that does not mean that we're going to stop here. We're going to keep on pushing ahead, keep on like reaching new boundaries, reaching new heights, and breaking even further ceilings. So that is what we plan to
It's
do.
quite insane, man. I mean, honestly, hats off to you for what you've done, and God bless you, man. I mean, the way you're pushing it, I think it's very hard. It takes a lot of guts, blood, sweat, and tears, I'm sure. But I think you've been handling it like a saint, and you've been understanding the situations and evolving, like ever evolving. So God bless you on that. And I think we can continue having such conversations. But thanks a lot for putting out time today, man. Thank you so much. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Radha.
it.
You too,
Thanks a
man.
lot.
Thank you.